Hi, this is Shelley. Today I want to talk about the signs of narcissistic abuse as manifested by the new supply, as shown, as evidenced by the new supply. In other words, can we tell if the new supply is being abused? Now, you may ask, well, why do we even want to know? We've moved on. We don't care. Sure, if you absolutely don't care, you don't need to know. You don't have to know. But if you ever have any doubt about whether you were with a narcissist, or if you think that you're missing out on a good life with somebody, but you think that this person might be a narcissist, you don't know, you feel that you're missing out on something, well, knowing what happens to the new supply can be very validating. It can confirm your decision to leave. It can confirm your suspicion that something was wrong with that person. Um, it can also depersonalize the abuse. You know that it doesn't just happen to you, it happens to the new supply too. So, if the benefits of knowing what happens to the new supply outweighs the disadvantages, then I always side with the notion that the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. Okay? So now, when we were in the middle of narcissistic abuse, we could not see things clearly. Okay? None of us realized that we were being abused emotionally and psychologically. Okay? None of us, and I am very confident to use the word none of us, because the moment we realized that we were being abused, we left. So while we were being abused, we didn't know. Okay? And we stayed for months and years. And it wasn't until much, much later when we look back on all these weird things that happened to us, and when we summed up all the breakups and makeups, all the drama and trauma, all the ups and downs, did we finally realize, hey, we have been sleeping with an enemy. Okay? So now, having experienced narcissistic abuse firsthand, we're now better at identifying red flags. Okay. Why is that? Because now we are outsiders looking in. Okay. So when we look at the new supply, we can see things a lot more clearly. So I want to first thank my subscriber, Kelly, for inspiring today's discussion. Um, in fact, Kelly wrote me a long email about her experience, and she wants my thoughts and yours. So let's take a look at what happened to Kelly. Okay, Kelly dated Doug. We'll call him Doug the Narc. So Kelly and Doug the Narc dated for about 18 months, a short period of time compared to many of our relationships. Some of the relationships lasted 18 years, 28 years. All right. So Kelly never married the Narc, dated 18 months. The damage was done. So it was a volatile relationship. Okay, let me get my notes out. So it was a volatile relationship because Kelly, whether intuitively or subconsciously, knew something was not right. She kept breaking up with him, trying to get away from him. Every month there was a breakup. Okay, but in the end, Kelly always held on. So she always held on to the relationship until the final discard. Well, guess what? Doug the Narc, that piece of shit, discarded Kelly. And Kelly wrote that it was as if he waited for the right moment to take revenge on her because it was a low point in her life, and that was when Doug the Narc discarded her. Okay? Now, narcissists do that. They do that for the added spectacle. It's like a spectacle to them. They watch you suffer. They can sense that you're at a low point in your life, and that's when they strike. And they don't just strike lightly, they really hit you. It's like a 1, 2, 3 punch to make sure that you're down on in the dirt. You're crawling, begging for mercy. That's what they want, to inflict that level of pain. And Dr. Narc, you're a piece of shit. You'll go to hell for that, Dr. Narc. Okay? So after the discard, Kelly picked herself up, and like all of us, she embarked on a journey of healing. And it's been 6 years. So this is a story from 6 years ago, but weird things are still happening. So the new supply. Oh man, it's something interesting about the new supply. Um, the new supply actually divorced her husband and moved to their state or his state to be with the narc. Okay, so in other words, she gave up everything and uprooted herself to be with a piece of shit. She's a real winner. Now, 6 years later, they're still together though. And Kelly said that they're engaged to get married, so things must be going well? No. I told you that the love bombing lasts about 6 months, okay? And it is possible, it's very possible, and it happens all the time that um, victims stay with their narcissist. We did that. Many of us stay for months and years simply because we didn't know. So the new supply does not know. Okay, she doesn't know that it's abuse. Um, as we can remember, it was a living hell for us. After the first 6 months, things started to turn bad, and then from bad to worse, and it turned into a living hell. I don't care how short, how brief the relationship was, or how long it was. Every day it was a living hell. So in order for these two to stay 6 years and moving on to marriage, it's been 6 years of hell. Kelly, there's nothing to feel envious about, okay? You haven't missed out on anything except, trauma and drama. So as for this new supply, it will be her third marriage, and it will be Dr. Narc's fourth marriage. Well, that's if she doesn't get discarded before their wedding. But Dr. Narc actually had been jailed for domestic abuse, um, accused by his third wife. So that's the wife before Kelly. Um, but that case was dismissed due to lack of evidence. So emotional abuse is very difficult to prove in court. It's easy to file a claim, but it's very difficult to get a conviction. Now, it's difficult if it's a one-to-one accusation, okay? So if you're the only one making the accusation, it's very difficult to convince the judge that you are telling the truth because the judge does not know who is telling the truth here. That's why in my previous video, I advocated that all victims should write down and collect evidence for their history of abuse by the narcissist, okay? Because all the written story, the written account, and all the evidence of abuse, pictures, text messages, you name it, videos, can or and doctor's visits, prescriptions, doctor's notes, all these will help one day when multiple victims come out of the woodwork to collectively accuse the narcissist of emotional abuse. That's when the judge will side uh, with us. It's very, very difficult to convince somebody who doesn't know either party to immediately say, okay, because you say so, he must be guilty, or because he says so, she must be guilty. It's difficult. Okay. So in this case, we don't know if Dr. Narc was the abuser, but hey, Kelly, that was a red flag right there still, because it tells of a volatile relationship. Okay. So the new supply posted on social media that she moved into town and she started working for Dr. Narc in his company. A dream life, right? A dream comes true. Working for the man of your dreams. No, she only worked for him for 6 months, um, and then she found another job. Well, then now on social media, she's saying uh, this new job is her dream job. So okay, all right, she's found her dream job, and she's still with her man of her dreams. So hey, still dreams come true. Um, that lasted only some time, and then she quit that dream job and started working for a competitor, a competition to the Narc, Dr. Narc. So Kelly said this woman changed jobs 3 times in 4 years. I don't know. Something's not right. Um, and then the new supply posted something really weird. Okay, hold on here. Find it. Okay, so she posted, I know you love me more than anyone. I will never give up on us. I will persevere. I know all the horror things that I've done. I've learned from them. I will adjust to anything you want from me. I have learned, and I will prove it to you. Okay. That's what the new supply posted. Kelly, you're lucky to have found something so entertaining. Okay, so here comes Kelly's question to all of us. Okay, is Dr. Narc abusing the new supply? Kelly, really? You had to ask that question? If you're laughing like I am laughing, you have the answer. You have the same answer I do. Okay. Look, you are the outsider looking in. Okay. You're in a position now to, step back and look at the circumstances like the rest of us, the third party. All right. Third party looking in, and things look so much clearer, don't they? Clear as day. We cannot deny that there is a tremendous amount of instability, okay, volatility in their lives. And Kelly wants to know why they're still together if it's so unstable, so volatile. Same reason why many of us stayed as long as we stayed, right? We didn't know. We didn't know. Another reason, even if she knew that she wasn't happy, and many of us knew that we weren't happy, we put up with the shit uh, because she has put all her eggs into the same basket. Remember, she uprooted herself to move into town, to work for him and then work in other jobs. It was a heavy, big gamble, and if she calls it quit, she will lose the gamble. She will lose everything. So instead of cutting her losses, she keeps on betting, hoping for a turnaround, right? She doesn't want to know that she's made a wrong decision. Okay? I have bad news for her. It doesn't look good. Okay? If she has any self-respect left in her, if she is a little bit clear in her mind, she needs to start looking at her life and realize that it's time to go. Cut her losses and get the hell out. And notice the choice of word. Kelly pointed it out too. The word persevere. Okay, she wrote, "I will persevere. Uh, I will prove it to you." Okay, persevere. Nobody, nobody has to persevere for a relationship. Okay, people, if anytime you think that you have to persevere for a relationship, get the hell out. Okay, because relationships are supposed to be, loving, supportive, understanding, harmonious. You don't persevere for it. Okay, when do we persevere? Okay, when do we persevere? Um, Okay, you persevere. Let's say you're climbing Mount Everest. Okay, Mount Everest. Okay, you persevere. Oh man, you get you're having frostbites. Okay, oh you can't breathe. There's no oxygen. Oh, the wind, the gust, the snow, and you're dodging avalanche. Rocks are falling onto you, but you persevere. You keep on climbing. That's persevere. Or or you persevere. Let's say you're let's say you're competing in a marathon, okay? You persevere in a marathon, okay? You're out of breath. You're having cramps in your legs. I'm having fun, Kelly. Thank you. Oh, the heat. Oh, the thirst. I'm dying. Give me some water. Now that's persevere, okay? That's persevere. So what does the word persevere tell us about this new supply? She is fighting the elements. She's fighting some forces that are killing her. Hmm? She's fighting some forces that are killing her. That's when we say persevere, right? Persevere for a relationship? What the hell? And then, oh man, Kelly found out that the new supply was stalking her on social media. And Kelly wants to know, all right, here's a question for all of us. Why is the new supply checking her out on social media? Well, now the new supply is supposed to be she's engaged, so she's supposed to be thinking about nothing but but the wedding, right? When somebody is about to get married, that person is you know thinking about the wedding, the cake, the dinner, the rehearsal, the dances, the dresses, the tuxedos. Who has time to look up the ex? So why um a number of possibilities. I think that the new supply is not only looking up Kelly. Okay, Kelly, you're not the only one she's looking up, but I have a feeling that she's looking up everybody, all the exes of Dr. Narc. Well, why? No good reason. Okay, because if somebody is happy, especially somebody is engaged to get married, there's no good reason to be looking up a an ex or all the other exes. Okay, it tells of her insecurity. Something is not going well in her world. Perhaps, as we know, narcissists like to triangulate their victims. I can bet that the narcissist has been triangulating her and kind of playing with her emotions by telling things about you, by telling things about previous wives, previous girlfriends. So now this new supply is looking up everybody, lurking on your social media, just trying to find out, really, is she that great? Or or things are not going well with her. She's very miserable, and she senses that something is not right with Dr. Narc, and she wants a confirmation. She wants validation. Okay, so she's looking up an ex or all the ex's social media to see if you have posted the same thing. Maybe back in the day you also posted, oh, I can't sleep, I have anxiety. So if she sees that, oh, there's a pattern of behavior, same, I'm feeling the same thing. That's a very, very possible reason for that kind of behavior. So I don't think, Kelly, you're the only one targeted. So I wouldn't feel super, uneasy, but still, pay attention to what she's doing to you, what she's directing. If she's directing any language at you, any accusation, document everything. Okay. Now, another question from Kelly is, why does she still feel conflicted? She wants them to break up, even though she does not want Dr. Narc to come back. She doesn't want him to come back. Uh, at the same time, Kelly would like to see them breaking up. Given it's like a kind of karma that Kelly wants to see. It's very normal. It's a very normal feeling, um, especially if for many of us who still are struggling with complex PTSD, feeling angry, having when we ruminate about taking revenge on the abuser, it's a symptom of complex PTSD. It's very natural and very normal. The key is we need to control. We need to find out what triggers those emotions. Especially Kelly, in your case, it's been 6 years. So and your relationship with the narc, Dr. Narc, was only 18 months. The pain or remnants of the pain seem to have continued even 6 years later. I'm a little concerned about that. That suggests to me that Dr. Narc did not inflict all the pain. Okay, what he did to you, it was evil. He opened up old pain that you might have buried inside you. A lot of us, we might have had a traumatic childhood. Some of us were abused as a child, were raped as a child, um, abandoned, criticized, unvalidated. So a lot of abuses or ignored uh, by the adults who were supposed to take care of us. So we grew up feeling traumatized. But these kinds of painful events were never resolved. We never processed them. We just didn't think about them. We've tried to forget about them. But those feelings of hurt, um, abandoned, people attacking our sense of self, they became our vulnerabilities. The narcissist could smell that, sniff that out like blood. Okay, so I have a feeling that Dr. Narc smelled blood from past trauma in your life. So Kelly, if this resonates with you, um, Kelly, I want you to work with a specialist who specializes in complex PTSD and especially focusing on resolving past trauma because an 18-month relationship with a narcissist should not translate into 6 years of healing. Something is telling me that Dr. Narc opened old wounds. These wounds never healed to begin with. He opened all the wounds so that you felt all the pain all at once. Okay, that's very possible. So, um, Kelly, I thank you for your story. You are the survivor. Don't worry about missing out. You did not miss out on anything, okay? Focus on rebuilding yourself. You are the smart one, the lucky one, the brave one to have stayed away and to be rebuilding yourself and sharing your story with us validates us too. We went through a lot of the same things you did. So it wasn't just you. It wasn't you. It was Dr. Narc, that piece of shit. Okay? Focus on rebuilding yourself. After narcissistic abuse, you will never be the same again because you will be a better version of you. I hope everybody enjoyed this discussion. Like, subscribe. My email address is greatmindstinkalike@gmail.com. Greatmindstinkalike@gmail.com. Send me your stories if you'd like me to take a look at your stories and share with fellow survivors. And keep smiling, everyone. I'll see you next time.